Disclaimer: This video is based on my very own perception of the topic. Hello and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. After lots of careful consideration, I chose the most controversial topic of 21st century to address today. That is global warming. The more number of people you listen to, the more different perspective you confront in daily life. Everyone holds a different opinion on this topic. I myself have been trying to understand global warming since a long time now, and I believe that almost both of the sides, the denier and the acceptors, just put forward their own point of view with half of the truth. The part of the truth that supports their very own school of thought. And well, maybe I will put forward a version of my own, but I hope it will be much more closer to the truth than any other perspective. First of all, what we need to understand is what is climate change? Well, the answer is as simple as the term itself. It's a change of climatic pattern, or in layman terms, we can say when the weather of a region starts showing different trends from past for a longer period of time, we call it climate change. So is it real? Hell yeah. I mean, it is as real as everything around us. Well, yes, it is true, but there's more to it than it might seem. It will also be climate change if the global temperature was decreasing, but that is not what is happening lately, is it? Okay, let's dig a bit deeper, shall we? Now, what is global warming, or as I call it, climate change of late 20th century and the 21st century? So what is happening? The temperature is rising globally? Yes, it is. Have you seen a colder temperature pattern in your region? Yes, I understand the temperature is decreasing at certain places too. So is it really global warming? For that, you will have to take a look at the bigger picture. Well, most of you know the extreme weathers are common occurrence these days. We are getting real cold winters, extreme heat waves, increased thunderstorms, and even more frequent tropical storms. So what you observe as a record-breaking cold might just be a consequence of global warming. How? The answer to that is, well, what do you think will happen if the average temperature in a region increases? Well, there will be more evaporation, obviously. Now, the cloud travels, and well, let's say the precipitation occurs at 500 kilometers from the shore. But because the average temperature is high, the clouds didn't condense in time and went a little further, where they found the adequate temperature for precipitation. Now, this region already had a fair share of cold and precipitation, but now it's increasing. So, what will happen? The particular place will be much colder than before. Well, if you are living in such an area, you might consider yourself lucky, but unfortunately, that is not the case. One last thing that I would like to discuss before we get to the main point of this video is that if you think that climate change is natural and it will keep occurring with or without human interference, well, you are absolutely and totally right. Why? Because this process is actually naturally occurring. And to be honest, if we did not have greenhouse gases, we would be facing somewhat an ice age. But we also have to agree about the fact that human interference has increased the amount of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in our atmosphere, and this has eventually deviated our Earth from a natural cyclic process and has, what some would say, accelerated the process of climate change. Well, with all of that, I would now like to talk about the real point which I wanted to discuss in this video. So yeah, global warming is real and it is a consequence of both natural and anthropogenic activity. So why are we exactly afraid of global warming? Well, for that, you would need to go back to the point where I explained that cold regions will get colder and warm regions will get warmer. So what do living organisms do when they face harsh climatic conditions? The answer is simple. They migrate. For animals that live in colder regions, they might move toward poles or higher elevation regions to find appropriate temperature to survive. Their population might decrease due to lack of habitable area, but by the time some of them will adapt and evolve leading to survival of older species, get extinct due to natural selection, and some would even evolve into a new species. But what will happen if humans confronted the similar situation? Would you like to adopt by living in, let's say, 40 degrees Celsius with very less annual rainfall, or with frequent thunderstorms, or with intense tropical storms? I guess not. Most of us will not agree to that. Some of us might, but they will eventually face what science calls natural selection. So what will human do? Move? Well, yeah, this is the main source of our fear. How? Let's say you live in Tokyo or New York or Istanbul or Berlin or London or any other city across the globe. What will happen if you had to move few miles away from your city? Obviously, you spent billions of dollars building that city, so this is a huge cost to pay. So eventually, this is going to harm us, the people, and we aren't ready to cope up with it. So trust me, as much as you think that global warming isn't going to affect you much, to be brutally honest, you are the only species that can cope up with it. Thank you.